The unexpected happens. The best thing you can do is be ready. Know the risk, know the options. Be ready to act. Learn more at foodallergy.org/ready to act.
Listen to the man who tells you exactly how he sees it. The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris every weekday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. on 101.7 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is your 101.7 The Truth News Update.
Hello, everyone. This is Rhea Riley with your news update. Preventing foreign adversaries like China or Russia from targeting the Badger State. That's the goal of Safeguard Wisconsin, a package of bills introduced by Republican lawmakers aimed at security. State Representative Clint Moses.
Wisconsin will not allow governments to extend their repressive practices to exiles, dissidents, journalists, political opponents, or adversaries who have sought refuge in our state.
One bill would ban the UW system from entering research partnerships with China, Russia, and North Korea. Similar legislation previously failed to pass in the last session. Milwaukee Public Schools is making sure its staff understand the district's finance operating system. Superintendent Dr. Brenda Casillas says she's reached out to the districts for help.
I've talked to the superintendent in Green Bay and the chief financial officer in Kenosha and gotten their Wooford chart of accounts as well as their business manuals to kind of give us a little leg up and a boost in the work, which is going to be great to have.
Once all staff are trained on the system, Casillas says there should be no budget delays for MPS in the future. Wisconsin is among 25 states suing the Trump administration over food share benefits. Attorney General Josh Kaul.
What we are missing right now is leadership from the federal government in Washington and the leadership we need at USDA. That's what makes the difference between whether families are going to be harmed by the stop of benefits in this program or not. So we brought this suit and we're hoping to bring relief to the Wisconsinites who would be impacted by this.
More than 690,000 people in Wisconsin rely on federal food assistance. Funds could run out in the coming days as the government shutdown continues. This has been your news update. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on the new 101.7 The Truth.
Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. We have strange people in the producer studio. Ooh. It's one of those days. Hey, I want to remind you of a couple things. First of all, you can stream and watch us on YouTube. at 1017thetruth.com. Just scroll down, click watch now. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a show. Also want to remind you that Truth Summit is coming November 15th. Make sure you go to 1017truthsummit.com and check it out. I'm going to have some Truth hosts there. I think Homer Blow's going to be there, and Kyle Wallace and Dame, and there's a bunch of people that's going to be there. We're going to be chopping it up as well at the Truth Summit. Don't miss it. It's the second annual. It will be held at Thrive on King, 2153 North, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Drive, and it's presented by one of my favorite organizations, Maddie Day and 1MKE, along with 1017 The Truth and Good Karma Brands. So make sure you come hang out. We got some great people. We're going to talk about health, and we're going to talk about education. If we can just take care of those two things in 2026, our kids, our families, everything, I think will be great. So, Kwanda, you need to get on a plane and roll yourself up here from Miami. And Willie and all y'all need to come on. Come on up. Come check it out. You might want to sign up, though, because space is limited. And because space is limited, once we reach our maximum, that's going to be it. And it's first come, first serve. Like, we ain't got names on seats. We might have a name on a seat. Sandra signed up, so we're going to have a seat for Sandra. We're going to just pop Sandra somewhere, and she can just sit there, and everybody will know who she is. So we're not going to make her a queen. Donald Trump is already the king, so, you know, we can't do that. But we'll have her there. We'll have her there, and we'll have a good time. I think we'll have a good time. So if you've been watching the news, you should have been able to see exactly what's going on with MPS. And MPS has passed their budget. And I'm glad. I am very much glad that MPS has approved their budget, and now we get to have all sorts of things that we can see that are happening at MPS versus kind of going through the stages of, I can't find the money. Where's the money? So last night, a unanimous vote, Milwaukee Board of School Directors approved the proposed budget, the final budget, the 2025-2026 budget. Now, here's part of the issue we're having. Why are we just passing the budget for this year? You understand what I'm saying? We're passing this year's budget for this year, and we're already at 2025. So at some point, you would have thought, right? You would have thought that they already had a budget. But once again, we have a person from a previous administration, I guess, who just decided they didn't want to do their job. I guess they decided that some things just aren't important. But then sometimes aren't important. What? Sometimes there are some things that I believe should really be brought to the forefront. Like, hey, I know we're supposed to have a $1.6 billion budget, but kind of we don't have one. But then there's last night.
Get to breaking news at this hour. Milwaukee Public Schools approving its $1.6 billion budget for the next academic year.
That's 8 ayes. The motion passes.
Now, with this, property taxpayers can expect to see an increase in how much they owe. The district estimates an $8 increase per $100,000 of assessed value. So, to put it in perspective, someone who owns a $200,000 home may end up owing $16 extra. MPS says the budget makes greater investment to things like extracurriculars and special education. Right now on the 12 News app, where the district says that money is going.
And so you heard it. You heard it. But now we got to find out where the money's going. And my producer brought that up earlier. He said, so where's the money going? Like, how's it allotted? So we're going to have to go through that budget and make sure that we understand and know exactly where every single dime of that money is going, because we have a new superintendent who will be at the Truth Summit, who's doing exactly what she said we were going to do. They said it should maximize resources for students and schools while demonstrating fiscal prudence and responsibility to our taxpayers. Well, we'll see. An increase of $20 million more in state special education funds under the new budget, increase in $32 million in state aid, reducing the district's vacancy adjustment by about $22 million so that the district does not rely too heavily on vacant positions to balance the budget, reduces expenses by about $11 million to align with lower enrollment, including 54 fewer full-time equivalent positions without any layoffs, and smaller adjustments to address findings in Governor Evers' academic and operational audits, as well as the human resources audit, because you got 1 billion people working, and I don't even know if they know what they should do. Now, in my instance, I blame the former administration. The former administration did not do their job. They did a terrible job. They did a horrible job. And we'll wait. So far, she took care of the lead abatement. Hopefully, we can get rid of some of the academic buildings that we have that are just sitting there that are costing us $1 million a year. And we got like somewhere between 15 and 20 some odd buildings. So that's $20 million off the $6.4 billion. So you could probably get rid of about $6 million or $600 million worth of money. 600, yeah. By simply selling stuff. Think about that. Everybody else in the world has to tighten their budget. Inflation is rising slowly, but it's rising. Food costs more, cars cost more, gas costs more. And it's time our school districts did it too. So I applaud Dr. Brenda Cassellius. I applaud everyone on the school board, all 8 of them, who voted unanimously. You did a phenomenal job. You did a great job, and people always complain, you're always beating up on MPS. I don't beat up on something I don't care about. If I don't talk about stuff, that means I don't care about it. That's why I talk about fans, I talk about producers, I talk about hosts, I care. And I talk about MPS, because that is where our city will go. Now, later I've got a poll that I'm going to ask you about that deals directly with MPS and the city of Milwaukee. But at this point, all I can say is congrats.
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 101.7 The Truth.
Truth Nation, it's time to elevate the conversation at our second annual Truth Summit happening Saturday, November 15th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Thrive on King. This free in-person roundtable dives deep into Milwaukee's most pressing issues, from bridging the healthcare divide to rebuilding our educational pipeline. Join me, Dr. Ken Harris, and expert guests for powerful insights and lively debate you won't hear anywhere else. Reserve your spot at 1017thetruth.com. Sponsored by 1MKE and Thrive on King. It's 101.7 The Truth. Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Sometimes teams take a timeout to regroup and call the right play. When it comes to your home, Gina Della and her team at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin always have the winning game plan. Check out the championship caliber play call this month. A whole house of beautiful, new, energy-efficient Pella windows for as low as $297 a month, and get this, 0% interest for up to 60 months. That's like running a drive that keeps moving the chains with no penalties and no interest. And I can tell you from my experience, Pella windows actually stop the drafts. You'll stay comfortable no matter how cold it gets outside. Think about it. Energy savings, comfort, and a great monthly payment you can actually naturally managed. That's why I trust Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and why this is the right time to make your move. Call today and schedule your free consultation at PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions apply. Ends 10/31 of 2025.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are much closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Tip-Off Week is more than just the start of Bucks basketball. It's the start of a new season of memories. The raucous crowd, the thrill of every bucket, and the spectacular moments you'll talk about all year long. Whether you come with family, friends, or coworkers, we're all in for cheering Fear the Deer. Nothing compares to the energy of Bucks basketball at Fiserv Forum. Don't miss your chance to be a part of the action from the very beginning. Get your tickets now at bucks.com/tickets. That's bucks.com/tickets.
More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Kick it.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Hey! They don't make music like that no more. They make that nonsense mumble rap now.
They just sample it. That's all they do. This will be a sample in the song probably in the next year or two.
And there's no original music. Like, it's like, oh, like somebody's telling me, oh, that so-and-so made that. I'm like, no, they didn't. That song was out 30 years ago. What are you talking about? Here. And then I'll play the original. Like, oh, that sounds better. I'm done.
Yeah, a lot of people don't have the ear for it. I can kind of notice a lot of the riffs and everything like that people steal from, the 70s and the 80s. But, I say DJ Brothers, he said he never heard the song before he played it. So
I ain't tell you to say that on air, though.
My bad. I'm learning from Dr. Ken.
I think the whole New York thing, that's like retribution. I'm just saying.
It's a little bit. It's a slight dig.
Oh, my bad. I got it. Nope, wrong one. Why is hers in here? Why she put him? Okay, I got it. Okay. Anyway, this is one of those days. Sort of like the Bucks.
It was. It was one of those nights as well last night, victorious over the Knicks. So
Glenn Pearce is here to talk about sports. Okay, for those of y'all that didn't know, he was here to talk about sports. Hey, just trying to help a brother out. They might be somebody.
Yeah, I think the team is kind of finding its identity a lot earlier than people thought it would. Obviously, when you have a physical specimen like Giannis on your team, you always have a chance. But there's a lot of other guys that are kind of comfortable in their roles right now, especially with, some guys being hurt. I know Kevin Porter Jr. didn't play last night, but they got a really, really good game out of Ryan Rollins, another point guard that, the team was excited about. They kept him around. He 4 for 4 from 3, 25 points, a couple steals. So against, an all-star matchup as well, you had to guard Jalen Brunson for the bulk of that game. So. But Giannis took over in the fourth and third quarter. They were down at halftime, too, and they stayed strong, stayed resilient, took Karl Anthony Towns out of the game completely, and they got a lot of help from a lot of other guys. I mean, he didn't do anything that game, so it was ridiculous. But
somebody might have checked on some. We got some NFL for.
And that's the thing. Now that when people don't play well, people are like, "Oh, investigate that guy. He's cheating." But no, all in all, this.
But the NBA does that.
That is true.
Like when you sit down, people don't know behind the scenes, they started an investigation.
Yeah, and it's crazy. There's more updates coming about that too as well. I think Terry Rozier, they found out that he kind of owed, I think, the IRS $8 million as well.
Yes, that's why he did it.
And so there's a smoking gun there, and I believe they've been placed on leave without pay. So they're
So I'm gonna dig a bigger hole to your $8 million by suspending you and then not paying you.
They're done. I don't even know what they're. Again, I haven't heard much about Chauncey Billups. I haven't heard any updates on his end, but it seems to be Terry Rozier will probably never play in the NBA again, and all over $8 million that he probably should have.
None of them are coming back.
You don't think any one of them?
No, they're not coming back. Once you get that stink on you, you're not coming back.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Those guys have to live with that decision for the rest of their lives. But again, also Damon Jones, who was tied to the Bucks as well. You know, we'll see if anybody else kind of gets wrapped up in that. But as current, again, the team that we kind of have, the team that we're building around.
We just hope none of them.
Yeah, they're out there actually trying to win games. They're not throwing games. So but you know, this is a signature win for this team. I think winning against a team that is poised to be a potential championship contender, a potential Eastern Conference finalist, you know.
But aren't the Bucks expected to?
People writ them off, or people have already written them off, and I think that's the beauty of it right now. I think they're a sleeper in the East because a lot of people don't know what this team can be later in the season. You know, when you have to go on the road and win a key game that might clinch you a home advantage or anything like that. And the thing that people need to pay attention to as well, Miles Turner hasn't particularly played well. He hasn't had a standout or a breakout game necessarily yet.
But you don't need one.
No, and that's the thing. He creates.
All you need to be is consistent.
Exactly. He creates so much less chaos and less confusion for Giannis, which is why you see him 70% from the field, which is unheard of. He's an MVP frontrunner right now. So a lot of people.
How you gonna be an MVP frontrunner with like 3-4 games? What are we doing?
Stop. The odds ever changing. Yeah.
Stop.
Think about
Points per game.
If the season stopped today, after a week,
you would be the
maybe
MVP.
2. You're the MVP. Really?
That is true.
Stop. That's trash. Come on.
No, it's not a crazy take at all. Again, we know what we have here right in Milwaukee. Again, we have a generational talent that we cultivated, that we grew. He was born, or not born and raised, I should say, but they brought him over here, they drafted him, they took a chance on him, and he's now become the player that everybody, basically, reborn here in Milwaukee. And so he's only getting better as time has gone on, which is insane to say.
Absolutely.
Already a one-time champion, already a one-time MVP.
I don't know if I call him generational, though.
No?
We've had some ballers in Milwaukee. From Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, we've had a number of.
He ain't doing.
Hey, I'm not talking to you. I'm not
thing
talking
with
to you.
Giannis.
I'm not talking to you.
It ain't nothing he could do with Giannis.
I know it's y'all. I know it's y'all generation. I get it. Generational.
He said, "I get it." He is generational. Have you ever seen somebody 6'11" that can jump that high, run that fast?
I think all 6'11" people can jump high. They're 6'11".
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar wasn't moving like that. He wasn't doing a dribble crossover.
It was a different game.
That is true.
So what you can't do is compare, but you can say, "Will Giannis be greater than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?" I don't think so.
Wow. Really?
I don't think will he be greater than Michael Jordan? I don't think so.
But okay. Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
2 different players, 2 different times, 2 different eras. Dr. J, right? 2 different times, 2 different eras, where they're like when I talk about music, where you have a Mariah Carey and a Whitney Houston. Mm-hmm. You can't put them next to anybody because they're their own. Those players are their own. That's what Giannis will become.
That is true.
He'll become like, oh, we got these good players, and then there's Giannis. And then people go, oh. And they don't even bother to, like, compare. I'm going to compare somebody. You can't.
But we have to have that discourse. I think, again, for anyone that is old enough to have been here when Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was playing for the Bucks, which would have been the early 70s. So
AKA me.
Yeah. So, again, you have to think about what he meant
and
to
Michael
the city.
Jordan and all the.
Yep. And that the thing that makes great players great is that they have a go-to move and that they have something that they can fall back on whenever their shots really aren't falling. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had the skyhook. Giannis just has everything. He beyond a three-pointer. He doesn't have a three-pointer, which is, he doesn't.
So then he don't have everything.
Oh, but he's such a physical specimen that he's more dominant in ways than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar could have ever dreamed of. I think
in his game, it's 2 different eras. The rules weren't even the same. The courts weren't the same. The baskets were lower, not higher.
That is true as well.
And many of those guys crossed over from the ABA to the NBA when they merged. So, learn your history.
I know a little bit of history here. This is why I'm here, though. This is like Master Splinter, and this is like the teaching. Like
we gonna sharpen each other's iron.
Exactly. Right. Iron sharpens iron. But this team again,
Sound like you said iron sharpens a diaper.
Like,
Yep.
what?
I had to roll over my words real quick.
He was trying to, wow, to get gaslit on your own show. Wow. Anyway.
But no, this team it's well constructed. Again, a lot of people
it is.
were concerned with the bench, if they were going to have the shooting, the spacing that they kind of needed. They have such a great interior presence on defense as well. You have basically 2 7-footers and Bobby coming off of the bench as well. And so this team will only grow and only get better as time comes on. We'll see if they kind of add anybody at the deadline. Obviously, that's a ways away. But compared to other teams in the East, they had a tough loss versus the Cavs the other night, but they will retool and they will be better.
It's only... Was it a tough loss?
It was tough. I mean, they were down for a pretty significant portion of that game as well, and I think they lost by about 7 or 8 points. They let Donovan Mitchell go off for 30-something, who is also in the MVP conversation as well. I know you hate to say that it's kind of early for that, but they've played a few tough teams, and they've gotten, they've got a feel of where they are and what they need to improve
and what they need to adjust.
Yes. And so if anyone's a Bucks fan out there, obviously most of our listeners probably are, there's room for optimism. They are kind of going to be under the radar the entire season. And before you know it, it'll be, the springtime, and they'll be a 5 seed or a 4 seed. And they'll be competing for a championship again.
Very true.
Yeah.
Now, I don't really care about Game 4.
Okay.
Dodgers and Toronto. Right. Yeah, they tied it up.
Okay.
I don't care at this point. I don't really care who wins. I prefer, because I like the Dodgers, but I like hanging out in Toronto too. So, I'm kind of like, eh. But I like the Dodgers. I hope the Dodgers win.
Yes.
Game 3, I have never seen that in my life.
It was, yes.
Ever. I have never, ever seen. I don't know where they found him at. And right when you think one's not going to do it, and they walk up, it's been struck out 4 times. It's the bottom of the 18th. We'll probably go to the 19th. 1 pitch.
Boom. And that's the beauty of baseball. Again, baseball essentially is a slow burn. Again, for those who watch baseball and kind of understand the nuances of it, to have a game go that long and to have so many people used in the game. And that's a thing that will kind of carry down the road for the series, obviously, as they head into, Game 5. But the Dodgers, again, they won 2 straight, and the Blue Jays stormed back to even it up.
Yep.
And they have one more game in L.A. before they head off to Toronto.
Right.
Ohtani pitched last night as well. His inning or his outing wasn't as long as most people thought it would be. So I feel like they're gearing up for a Game 7.
Oh, they are.
With all the arms that were used in that game that went to 18 innings. I think that we're in the midst of a classic.
I don't know if we're going to go to 7 though. I think we'll go to 6. Yeah.
No, I think they're going to go 7, and I think the Dodgers steal it in 7. I think Ohtani's on the mound. He'll have one of those historic performances that he did, against the Brewers as well, and against the other night as well.
Well, he hit two home runs in Game 3. And then we thought he was going to, and then this guy from nowhere who's struck out 4 times in the game, to the point where the announcers are like, well, he hasn't done anything in the last 17 innings. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. And then hits 1 out.
Yeah.
And that was it.
It was hard to stay up for. I stood up and I watched it in its entirety. And again, the much credit to both the teams as well. The managers, they both called a flawless game. And that's
best teams.
Yeah, and that's one of those games that could be demoralizing, again, if you're the Blue Jays, but you come fire right back, you win on the road, and you even it up. And so now you have to retool and kind of re-strategize. You know what you're up against at this point, but there's going to be key moments where people have to come through. And they say as well, too, in October, this is when legends are made.
Yep.
And so we've seen plenty of legendary performances throughout the World Series. It hurts that our beloved Brew Crew is not there. But again, we lost to a team that was a little bit better than us.
Time out. Did you just use the word little bit?
A little bit.
The way they playing?
I'm trying to minimize it.
They smoked the Brewers, dude.
I'm trying to soften the blow.
It's already happened, so it's not like you can soften something that already happened.
That is true as well.
They got, and they're showing that they're a superior team.
Yeah,
they're
absolutely.
showing. It's. I think it's amazing.
It is. It gives us something to look at again. No matter how we look at it, the season that the Brewers had, very historic, one for the ages. Not sure if we can repeat that success, but the team knows again what they need to do and who they need to add in order to compete once they get into the later rounds of the playoffs again.
Okay, so then I'll ask. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, you're good.
I asked you the last question. So then, what do the Brewers need to do to make it to the finals?
I think they need to add another DH. I think obviously Vaughn had an incredible run, but that can't be sustained necessarily. They obviously need to get healthy. I think if they add one more arm into the rotation, because obviously we know what Miz presents. Miz may struggle because it's his first year coming up. A lot of people don't have film on his stuff, but they need to pay Freddie inordinate amounts of money, whatever he asks for, that they need to pay him. And I think if you keep Freddie, you kind of let Miz go through the sophomore slump, and you get another bat in that lineup. I think they're poised to be just as good as they were last season.
If they can get 2 bats in one pitcher, they'll be a killer. Yeah. Ohtani reminds me of designated hitter, DH. Ohtani reminds me of Reggie Jackson.
That's not a crazy comparison. Similar swing too.
If you go back in the day, Reggie Jackson during the year, struck out. I think he might have the record for an entire. He probably has had one of the lowest averages in baseball. Yeah. But that's why they called him Mr. October.
Yeah, and when it matters, he comes through clutch.
My goodness.
Yeah, when it matters.
And so Ohtani, that was. You saw the pitcher put his head down
Yeah, and that's the thing. He's drawing comparisons to Babe Ruth, and they're very warranted. So.
And I don't understand why they use the left-hand pitcher against Ohtani. I'm looking at him. I'm going, you need to pull the pitcher out and put a right-hander in because he's going to rock that guy.
False confidence. Maybe you get a pop-up or something. They're just trying to catch him or jam him up. That's really.
And I don't know if it was a slider or he meant to throw a slider.
And it hung up.
And it hung up. And you could see the ball go, and it hung up, and it didn't go as far. And I was like, dude.
And he turns that bat on it so quick. So either way, we're shaping up for a classic. I think this will be one of the best World Series in memory. So
you say 7, I say 6.
Yeah.
What we betting? Because you can't bet.
He just stumbled right into a meme and didn't even know it.
I know.
6-7.
So,
what you want? Lunch? A cigar? You name your price.
A cigar.
All right, we shaking on this live on air.
All right.
You saw it there, yeah.
All right, and wait. You get lunch?
Yeah, I get lunch.
You getting a cigar too, dude. I'm crazy.
That's fine with me.
I'm gonna trade a cigar for lunch?
I don't know.
I mean, that's what I heard.
Yeah, I'm either or. I'll take one too.
That's my way out. And now with 101.7 The Truth Traffic is Debbie Lazaga. Thanks, Glenn.
From the Marquette interchange on 4394 southbound all the way through the Mitchell interchange to just south of College Avenue. It is a solid ride, all because of a tanker truck that ended up on its side, blocking the 3 right lanes of traffic right now. So that's making for that whole delay right there. It's even slowing down on the northbound side. We got backups almost back to Drexel on northbound 94. We've even got delays on 894 eastbound, stretching from Forest Home Avenue all the way through to the Mitchell interchange and points south. So keep that in mind. Southbound on 894, we got backups from National Avenue all the way into the Hale interchange. Eastbound 94 slowing from 92nd Street through to 35th. The westbound side's backed up out of the Marquette to Hawley Road. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, partly cloudy skies, a low of 42. Tomorrow, partly cloudy with a high of 53. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
Steinhoffel's Black Friday sale is back, and these deals are too good to wait. Snag huge savings right now, like any size Sealy mattress for just $99, beautiful dining tables and sofas for only $4.99, and a stylish queen bed for only $5.99. Plus, enjoy 36 months, 0% financing. That's 3 full years of interest-free payments. Don't wait for Black Friday. Save big today at Steinhoffel's and Steinhoffels.com.
Are you ready to do some baking? Because it's We Energy's Cookie Book time. This year's book is packed with dozens of cookie recipes to bake and share. We're sure you'll find a few new favorites. Pick up your copy of this holiday tradition from We Energies at one of our drive-through distribution events. Go to WeEnergies.com to find an event near you. From all of us at We Energies, we offer you warm wishes for a bright holiday season. We Energies. Energy you can depend on.
This is your Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin Community Impact Moment on 101.7 The Truth.
What was the life change? You know, we all know it happened and we know things happen and you have bad kidneys, but what was the life change afterwards?
A couple things. Before they even allow you to get on the list, they make you go through a battery of tests. And, you know, a lot of people don't qualify because they're overweight or they have high blood pressure or high cholesterol. So all those things are requirements before you can even get approved to be on the list. So I had...
Wait, you got to be approved to be on the list?
Absolutely.
Wow.
It's interesting. There's a professional athlete or former professional athlete I know right now that has kidney disease and he's on dialysis and he wants to get on the list and he's not accepting all the things you have to do, you know, to get on the list. But yeah, so for me, I spent 30 years in the automobile industry. You know, that's 12, 14-hour days, eating whatever somebody brings you to eat, whatever you run out and grab, McDonald's, whatever. It was never salads and, you know.
Yeah, but that was a choice, right?
It was a choice. Yeah. But I had to change all of that to even qualify to be on the list. I had to get down to the weight I had to be at. I had to get my phosphorus under control, my potassium under control.
Wait a minute, even though somebody said they would give you a kidney,
absolutely,
you had to still make yourself eligible?
Absolutely.
Nah, that's okay.
When I mentioned the athlete, his relative actually died, and they wanted to take his organs, and they couldn't because he wasn't qualified. He wasn't on the list.
Wow.
Yeah, you have to be.
So there are over 100,000 people on that waiting list. So they are very serious.
And how many donors do we have?
And that's the problem. We don't have nearly enough donors.
Wow.
And that's why it's such a critical need. But they are serious about who they're giving that gift of life to because there are so many people who are literally dying waiting for it.
To make an impact by donating blood in your community, visit versity.org today.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Nazir Spencer. The Packers are on a hot streak right now as they sit at the top of the NFC, currently at 5-1-1. But fans still want to see more out of rookie Matthew Golden. Jordan Love joined Up and Adams with Kay Adams.
And, you know, I think it's just early. You know, we haven't found ways to be able to get him the ball as much. You know, some of that's where on me, trying to find ways to get him the ball. Some of this is on the plays. And
Packers return home against the Carolina Panthers on Sunday. Another victory celebration as the Bucks win a huge game against the New York Knicks. Giannis is the sixth player in NBA history to post 3 or more consecutive games with 30 points on 70% shooting. Giannis after the big win.
I love what I'm seeing. I think guys are playing to win, and this is what we are going to do this year. We have the players to win games.
Turn Thursday to face Steph Curry and the Warriors in a big primetime matchup. This Sports Update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
You are listening to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Yeah, Spider-Man and freezing full effect. You ready, Ron? I'm ready. You ready, Div? I'm ready, Slick. Are you? Oh yeah, take it down. Girl, I must warn you.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Hey, Milwaukee.
Yo.
Time's almost here. We have been entering Truth fans into the Gruber Law Office's 5K giveaway for the last 3 months. And this Friday, we finally pick our one call, that's all, $5,000 giveaway winner. So be sure to tune in to Truth in the Morning. That is on Friday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. I can tell you exactly when they're going to give away, between 7 and 9 a.m. So you don't want to miss your call, because if you do, and if you were entered in to win, then you might want to be by your phone between 7 and 9. I'm just saying. Hey, you might want to answer the phone. Goodness. Because if you don't, they're going to go to the next person, and then they'll just keep calling until they answer and give them $5,000. So, again, that's the Big Gruber 5K giveaway. That is on Friday morning, sometime between 7 and 9 on Truth in the Morning, on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth, Milwaukee Black Talk. 833-212-1017 is the number. So you might remember last April-ish or so. Was it April? Something like that. Let me see if I remember the date. April. Trump put out a edict, right? An executive order that said words like equity and culture and access, and in some cases, belonging, needed to be removed from job titles and other initiatives across Wisconsin's technical colleges. And so we talked about it in passing. MATC had to close their office that worked with diversity, or just dissolve it or rename it and just call it something different. We're talking Moraine Park, MATC, Gateway, Waukesha County. So 6 colleges said they haven't made the change, but basically what's happening is, they said they're going to take your money, right? Because they got a Dear Colleague letter released by Trump. I'm sorry, it was last February, which threatened to pull funding from colleges that do not eliminate all considerations of race from policies and programs. And so here's what I don't understand. What I don't understand when they say that is, what does that mean? But then you have to look at it in a broader sense. First of all, is this the end of the world that we're ending Office of Racial Inclusion or whatever, and white students don't get assistance, but black students and Hispanic and Asian do too? Or is there another way to help students? Is it time to get rid of words like minority, underrepresented, access, belonging, diversity, inclusion? I'm asking. I'm not saying what I would do, but I'm just saying, is it time? 833-212-1017. Is it time that we start identifying ourselves as something that's more positive, when the majority of people that are in this country are literally, in fact, using their terminology, a racial minority? And that one of the reasons they want to remove race is because then you are not characterized, and then they feel like they're in the majority, when in fact, they're not. When we talk about underrepresented, that there's some jobs that black people don't do, Hispanic people don't do, by virtue of whatever reason, money, education. It's like the Olympics, right? One of the reasons in America you don't see a lot of black people in certain sports and Olympics is because we can't afford to send our kids and pay for our kids to do ice skating and get private lessons when they were a kid. Venus and Serena Williams' father could afford to send them to tennis camp. Many black parents can't. They can't afford AAU. So when we talk about giving people a chance, I get it. But when we talk about ourselves, the words that we use, in my estimation, the words demean us. I find it difficult to call myself a quote-unquote minority. I find it difficult to find myself underrepresented. I go where I'm represented. I bother with things that represent me. If it doesn't represent me, and I don't care what it is, I don't go there. The access piece, I think that is very much needed, but we need to figure out a way to word it so that the Trump administration can't shut that down. Your thoughts, 833-212-1017. How do we rewrite that? How do we change that? How do we do that? I don't know. But I think it has to be done. I think at some point it's already changed. So at that point, how do we speak about ourselves? In other words, I guess I should just break it down to this. What word do we call ourselves? What word, how do we represent ourselves? I think minority is a negative word. I think it lessens you when you say majority in the way the word is described. It automatically lessens you. When you say underrepresented, are we underrepresented? Well, we have to look at why. Are we underrepresented because we don't have access to the schools? And that's what I think. I think access is more important. But you're talking about a group of white people that got together and removed every word. And then you got a group of Democrats who are predominantly white who then added every word to then fit you in a category where they can decide what you get and they can decide what you're called. And I think that's just as bad. Your thoughts? 833-212-1017 is the number.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
So let me ask you, when the government, and again, I'm doing the air quotes, tightens the belt, who's standing underneath the belt when it snaps back?
This is The Truth Unfiltered with Denise Thomas and Dr. Ken Harris.
Don't want you to agree. Honestly, should I be transparent? I don't really care if you agree. I, like you, want to be heard.
Sundays starting at 7 on 620 WTMJ and Mondays at 6 on 1017 The Truth.
Contract-ready businesses, opportunity seekers, partnership builders, deal closers. Marketplace Wisconsin, the Governor's Conference on Diverse Business Development, is focused on you. This event puts small businesses like yours in the room with buyers, partners, and mentors who can help open doors to bigger opportunities. Join us online December 9th, in person December 10th and 11th at the Baird Center in downtown Milwaukee. Whether you're in construction, looking for contracts, or a service provider ready to grow, Marketplace Wisconsin is for you. Meet one-on-one with government reps, corporate buyers, and resource providers. Small businesses like yours keep Wisconsin moving forward. Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation is here to propel your growth. So join them for Marketplace Wisconsin, the Governor's Conference on Diverse Business Development, December 10th and 11th. Register at marketplacewisconsin.com. That's marketplacewisconsin.com. Presented by WEDC. Let's look forward together.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. To learn more about how you can take your first steps in buying your forever home, visit associatedbank.com/lending. That's associatedbank.com/lending. Or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Experience, knowledge, and results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Bucks basketball is back. A brand new season of big games, electric matchups, and unforgettable moments starts now. There's nothing like Bucks basketball at Fiserv Forum. The energy, the thrills, the slam dunks, and buzzer-beating three-pointers. Don't miss your chance to be part of all the on-the-court, cheering crowd, fear the deer excitement. Get your tickets today at bucks.com/tickets. That's bucks.com/tickets.
You are listening to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. We were talking about that Trump executive order from last February that made now some of our technical colleges change the way that they support people on campus. If you really think about it, they simply used the Constitution and the laws that are already written, Civil Rights Act of 1964, and used it for their betterment. Northeast Wisconsin Technical College changed the title of its Learning Experience DEI consultant position to the Learning Experience Consultant Title III. Northwoods Technical College eliminated a DEI initiative in its strategic plan and eliminated the DEI coordinator. The employee was reassigned to a new role as a Workforce Success Manager. Mid-State Technical College renamed its Equity Retention Specialist position to Retention Specialist. Then, this past July, just got rid of it altogether. They also ended their Equity and Inclusion Task Force. Western Technical made no changes to positions, departments. MATC here in Milwaukee renamed its Office of Multicultural Services to the Office of Community Impact, eliminated 4 student-facing jobs that had focused on serving African American, Hispanic American, Indian, and Asian American students. Those four employees were terminated and told they could reapply for 2 newly created jobs in the Community Impact Office. MATC also changed Vice President of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion job title to Vice President of Student Engagement and Community Impact. And the Manager of Multicultural Services job title became the Manager of Community Impact. Is this going to have an impact? 833-212-1017. You've heard what happened at MATC. Fox Valley didn't make any changes. Chippewa Valley didn't change anything. Did any of them have it? Well, I'm pretty sure the majority of their student population was of one particular ethnicity, and so they didn't have to really make an adjustment. That's me going out on a limb. In the end, MATC is going to impact us more. I don't see any of this changing in the future. There's no reason why you can't be a manager of community impact or a vice president of student engagement, community impact, and still take care of each of those groups the same way you've done before. And now when a white person comes in and asks for something, you have to do it for them too. Because technically, I don't think you would turn away any student. And all of this always includes women, and it doesn't matter what race or ethnicity they are, because women are considered a quote-unquote minority. They're part of the diversity tag. And so how's this going to impact Milwaukee with it having 48% African-American population and a sizable Hispanic population that literally makes those non-whites more in Milwaukee than whites? Al, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Hey, I hope everybody having a good day. But, this sounds like one big headache. And I just don't understand. You can have white privilege, white skin color, and still have a problem. It's like a person who have tons of crack and cocaine and they still complain. And it's like, what is it going to be next?
Well, what will it be next? What do you think it'll be next? That's something you have to ask these white people. My God, they got all this white privilege and they still got a problem. That's why I never give white people money when they beg for it, because you got white skin color and white privilege and you should use it. But it is just so anal. It's just like, DE this, oh this, and I'm like, y'all got white skin color and y'all still got a problem? Woo! I hate when y'all get to heaven, but I forgot y'all ain't going to be welcome there anyway. Have a good day. Bye-bye. Wow. Kind of hard to say anything after that. Minus the jabs at white people going to heaven. But in the end, why is there such a push? Why is there such a push? I think I read today they just put a Confederate monument. They reinstalled it back in Washington, D.C., as if that's going to matter. Like, we have to start fighting and complaining about the things that affect Milwaukee, the things that are going to affect it. That's why we have the Truth Summit. We're going to talk to black superintendents who support all students in school, but still understands the plight, the struggle, and the issues in non-white homes. And I'm not saying that white homes don't have that. They do. They've got poverty. They've got crime. They've got drug abuse. They've got alcoholism. They've got domestic violence. They got shootings. They got all that stuff. But what are we going to do in Milwaukee to make sure that our children win? That's what I want to know. So my poll question for the day. I need you to choose which one. Is the future of Milwaukee high-tech or hands-on? That's what I want to know. Go to the YouTube chat. Always remember, you can stream and watch us on YouTube at 1017thetruth.com. Scroll down to watch us or watch live, and you can just click it and go to YouTube, log in with your email so you can get access to the chat. And there's a poll. Is the future of Milwaukee high-tech or hands-on? Choose one. I'm interested in knowing which one. This is information that I can take to school superintendents, Brenda Caselius from Milwaukee Public Schools, Damon Means from Wauwatosa Schools, and Dr. Terrence Robinson from West Milwaukee Schools. They're all superintendents. They need to know 15 years from now, 10 years from now, 5 years from now, where do our kids need to be? High-tech or hands-on? What is the future of Milwaukee? That's our poll question. It's pretty simple, pretty easy. Because whatever that is, we then have to change and adjust where our children go to school, what our children learn, how they prepare themselves for the next generation, how they prepare themselves to grow into the future and grow into being in leadership in this city. Because that's all that really matters. Good, wholesome kids that can grow up and be leaders in this city. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Top 5 at 5 up next.
Teachers are the heart of our classrooms, but what does it take to keep the great ones in the classroom and to inspire the next generation? Join me, Kyle Wallace, and City 4 Collective's Coleston Morgan Jr. for the next episode of Forward Together for Kids. We'll talk about the joys and challenges of teaching and how education policy at the state level impacts what happens in our local classrooms. Tune in Saturday, October 4th at 11:30 a.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth with the replay on Sunday, October 5th at 2:30 p.m.
I'm going to say something. I'm a conservative, as you know. I might not agree with you all the time, but even when I don't agree with you, you crack me up. And the other guy, he just pretends conservative all day. And you do make me think. But when you do better than anyone, you think on your feet.
Now that was a compliment coming from somebody who is as Trump-loving as he is, that can appreciate what we do here.
Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Day 1, diagnosis day. The hardest day. The day you hear,
I'm sorry, this is a type of blood cancer.
But day 1 is just one day. At the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, we are here to help you move past day 1.
On day 45, I discovered an online community who shared great tips for in-treatment care.
I missed a lot of school during treatment, and LLS helped me keep up.
We are here for you. We exist for everyone fighting leukemia, lymphoma, myeloma, and other types of blood cancer.
On day 185, LLS helped me file my insurance claims properly.
Day 5,840 and counting, and I'm still in remission.
To learn more and get help on day 1, day 2, day 983, or any day, please visit LLS.org or call 1-800-955-4572. That's LLS.org, 1-800-955-4572.
Dad's gonna be far side, good.
What should I do with my dress?
Do little wiggles. The slate's coming in. What does it feel like when you're down or having a bad day?
It feels sad, like you just don't want to do anything.
All my little emotions in my head is just running crazy. I don't know what to do.
As a teacher or coach, do you ever feel overwhelmed supporting kids' mental health?
I had never experienced players being so down that they can't even participate.
He's just in tears in the huddle. I didn't know what to do.
Teachers need tons of help.
Kids Mental Health Foundation offers educational materials to help guide conversations with our students.
It's so important that we are constantly educating ourselves.
It's the same as the CPR class to me. We're trying to save a life here.
The Kids Mental Health Foundation has free tools and information developed by experts because kids' mental health starts with all of us. Scan the QR code or check out kidsmentalhealthfoundation.org to get started.
All of your favorite 1017 The Truth content whenever you want. The Truth app has it all. The Truth is on 1017 and 1510 WGKB Waukesha, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is your 1017 The Truth News Update.
Hello, everyone. This is Rhea Riley with your news update. Preventing foreign adversaries like China or Russia from targeting the Badger State. That's the goal of Safeguard Wisconsin, a package of bills introduced by Republican lawmakers aimed at security. State Representative Clint Moses.
Wisconsin will not allow governments to extend their repressive practices to exiles, dissidents, journalists, political opponents, or adversaries who have sought refuge in our state.
One bill would ban the UW system from entering research partnerships with China, Russia, and North Korea. Similar legislation previously failed to pass in the last session. Milwaukee Public Schools is making sure its staff understand the district's finance operating system. Superintendent Dr. Brenda Casillas says she's reached out to the districts for help.
I've talked to the superintendent in Green Bay and the chief financial officer in Kenosha and gotten their Wolford chart of accounts as well as their business manuals to kind of give us a little leg up and a boost in the work, which is going to be great to have.
Once all staff are trained on the system, Casillas says there should be no budget delays for MPS in the future. Wisconsin is among 25 states suing the Trump administration over food share benefits. Attorney General Josh Kaul.
What we are missing right now is leadership from the federal government in Washington and the leadership we need at USDA. That's what makes the difference between whether families are going to be harmed by the stop of benefits in this program or not. So we brought this suit and we're hoping to bring relief to the Wisconsinites who would be impacted by this.
More than 690,000 people in Wisconsin rely on federal food assistance. Funds could run out in the coming days as a government shutdown continues. This has been your news update. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris continues on the new 1017 The Truth.
Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and the Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken. What happened to my music? DJ Brother Lee said,
There's no trail anymore.
Off. Look, that's what, 3 years of always been. Dude, what are you doing? Like, what is it with you and that ball? Is that like your comfort ball?
It's my keepsake.
I don't know what the keepsake is.
I got it from the Bucks game when I was courtside.
Yeah, but keepsakes you usually put in glass and sit it on the desk and sit on the table and you let it sit. And all day I've seen him. I can tell where Zech is. You know why? He's bouncing the ball. Like he's 833-212-1017 is the number. Before I get to Top 5 at 5. The Town, you're on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
How you doing, sir?
I'm good.
Got a quick answer. The quick answer to your poll question.
Okay.
You know the answer. You know what the answer is? Yes. The answer is yes.
That don't make no sense because I said high tech or hands on. What is the future of Milwaukee?
Well, let me explain my answer, sir.
Okay, but that's not one of the choices. But that's not one of the choices.
They're both.
Nope.
You can't make a choice between that in the city right now.
I can because I made the poll.
The same because you need people in the high. You need people to do the hard stuff too, and the engineering work too that goes with that. They go hand in hand. We're not gonna have people get the high tech jobs, and then what do you suggest we do? We hire somebody from somewhere else.
Listen to what I'm asking you.
Because we got
the Town. Listen to what I'm asking you. Don't add to it. Don't take it away. If you have to choose, and the only two choices you have is high tech or hands on for the future of Milwaukee, which one would you choose?
I would say yes, but if I had to choose one,
If
I had to choose one, it would be hands on.
Okay.
I would choose hands on.
Okay.
The reason for that is they got a whole big place called MSOE, where last time I checked, not a lot of brothers go to, and from personal experience from my sons, they don't like to have a lot of black people there. So I think for our community, let's get on to the hands-on stuff too. So it's an easier step up. We can always use and get to the high-tech stuff, you know. But let's get to the you know what I'm saying, the engineering work and the hammers and the wrenches and stuff like that. Because at the end, what if the computer fails? You're gonna need a person to manually work the equipment. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying. I appreciate that.
That's what I think. That's my time, though. But that was an interesting question, though, and so I had to chime in on that, though. But they are both good ways, though. But I just feel like the engineering side. Let's go with the hands-on and the engineering side because it's, in my estimation, it's easier for our young folks to get into. We can, you know what I'm saying. But again, I'm just thinking about this right now. It's messed up about taking out the shop classes out the schools and stuff like that. Maybe we need to bring them back too.
That is so very true, sir. So very true. All right. Thank you much.
That's my time. How you doing? Good. Peace.
833-212-1017 is the number.
Number 5.
Well, we heard about sports. We know the Bucks are starting to do it, and now we've got Toronto and the Dodgers tied at 2-2, and they're headed to Toronto. Guess we'll find out what's going to happen. I hope we find out what's going to happen. I got the Dodgers. GP has the Toronto, so we'll see. So if I lose, I owe him lunch. If he loses, he owes me a cigar. There is a $148 cigar that I got my eye on because he didn't put a price on it. Oh, and I'm going to get him.
Number 4.
So we've got the shutdowns, right? Come Sunday, these are the 4 crucial safety net programs in Wisconsin that might get shut down. They might come up with some money for it. They might not. Number 1, food stamps. U.S. Department of Agriculture says it does not have money to provide food stamps to nearly 42 million people. What does that mean? That means that's a lot of kids in Milwaukee. That's $8 billion in assistance that won't be there. So go to the City of Milwaukee website, go to the county website. The mayor and the county executive came through, and they're having a food drive, and they've got places you can drop off your food. All you have to do is text FOOD, F-O-O-D, to 833-212-1017, and you can get a list that the city has of where people are going to drop off food if you want to drop off food. They're working in partnership with Feeding America. So make sure, if you want to know where you can drop off food, all the police stations and different places around the city, a church and all that, go to 833-212-1017 and text FOOD. Got it? Good.
Number 3.
Why do I say that? JS Online has a story that over half of the kids in Milwaukee got food share last year. Think about that. Half of the kids. Half of the children in Milwaukee got food share. It provides lower-income Wisconsinites with debit cards to buy groceries. Notice it didn't say low income, it said lower income. It's federally funded through SNAP, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. That program will pause November 1st. Then, so what do? Well, the Wisconsin Association for Bilingual Education, the president, Garcia, noted that along with another organization, MTEA, and a coalition of 8 other community organizations, announced $6,000 donation to Hunger Task Force. Because what I like about this, and this is something that we need to remember of why Milwaukee is made up of neighborhoods. Because we're coming together to feed each other. We're coming together to say, you know what? People need help. We need to show some compassion for those who do not have. And so that's what we'll do. And so that's what they did. So hats off to them. You did a phenomenal job.
Number 2.
So last night, clearly it was a fun night. Milwaukee police say from fox6now.com, Milwaukee police said 2 people were wounded. 3 people were arrested after a gunfight yesterday. 9th and Summers is where it all happened, in a neighborhood northwest of 6th and McKinley. Around 3:20 a.m., MPD said a 36-year-old was involved in an argument with someone else when both parties contacted other individuals, and then the drama response team showed up, and it turned into a gunfight. Police said 36-year-old and a suspect from the other group were shot and wounded. When police arrived at the scene, officers saw a vehicle flee the area and stopped it. 36-year-old victim and 2 other people were inside, and the victim was taken to the hospital. A gun was recovered, and the 2 other people in that car, 48-year-old man, 51-year-old man, arrested. 35-year-old man later arrived at the hospital for treatment of gunshot wounds and was arrested. MPD will refer charges to the Milwaukee County District Attorney's Office.
Number 1.
From WISN, my story from earlier, I have to say congratulations. In a unanimous vote yesterday, the Milwaukee Board of School Directors approved the proposed budget. It became more important for teachers and other people to get paid than it, and don't get me wrong, it's important for teachers to get paid, period. They should probably get paid more than some of these white-collar workers here, but I digress. And so one of the things we have to remember is that this moves us in a positive direction. It moves us in a way that we can take care of it. Now, we're just getting our budget in October for this school year. Think about that. for this school year that already started when we should have had the budget in July. But when she got here in March, she was too busy trying to figure out how to fix the lead abatement, fixing schools, people that were working at the central office that we still don't know why they were working at the central office. But again, it came down to coming in, and I'm glad that she did some things. In other words, she's doing some things that Howard Fuller tried to do, and they got rid of him, along with a couple of others that they literally got rid of. Well, now she's here to stay, and I think Milwaukee will be better. I do. 833-212-1017 is the number. We come back out, hit the talk and text line and the YouTube chat. And I got a question, but I think it's for the ladies. Does it matter how much money a man spends on a date? I'm just saying.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Need a way to hype up your day?
Hey, is this Carolyn?
It is.
Congratulations, Carolyn. You just won this
Congratulations.
Woo!
God is good all the time.
What would you do with $5,000?
I'm going to buy my nieces some school clothes because my nephew just passed away.
Aww.
So I'm going to get them some clothes.
Stay tuned into 1017 The Truth for your chance to be entered into the Gruber Law Office's 5K giveaway. For contest rules, visit 1017thetruth.com.
Tracy, going back to the process, and as it relates specifically to the partnership that Old National Bank has with Housing Resource, what does the process consist of when coming through this program?
It's a referral process. We work with clients that first-time homeowners that may not have the counseling that they need. They may not have the equity, the down payment that they need. So we refer them to our partners like HRI or Housing Resources, Inc., because we recognize that those organizations, they have the resources, they have the tutorial documentation and all of those things that are necessary for first-time homeowners that don't know the process, may not know the system, may not know what's required for home ownership. So working with Housing Resources, Inc. and other partnerships that we have like WIDA has been very, very advantageous, not only for us, but also the organizations, but also for the community.
Join us for the Greater Milwaukee Urban League's annual Black and White Ball on November 1st at the Bear Center. This elegant evening supports vital programs in employment, education, and economic opportunity for our community. Enjoy an unforgettable performance by national recording artist Sean Hinton and step out in your finest black and white attire and be part of something transformative. It's not too late to be a sponsor or reserve your seats by visiting gmul.org. That is gmul.org. The Black and White Ball, building brighter futures together.
Immerse yourself in a place where bold ideas are sought after, where all are encouraged to bring their personal flourish. Here, innovation is a way of life. In this city, the beat flows. Together, we're dancing to the rhythm, forward. Now, it's your turn to grab hold of that energy, where you'll remember not just the meals, the celebrations, or the uncommon coast. What you'll remember is how we made you feel. Come experience Milwaukee, where fresh meets fearless every day.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 5 and 20%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. Visit amfam.com to learn more. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You gotta be full time, messing with my mind.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin when it comes to your home. The smart play is trusting Gina Della and her team at Pella. This month, you can score a whole house of new energy-efficient Pella windows for as low as $297 a month with 0% interest for up to 60 months. That's like a drive you can sustain for years, keeping your home comfortable thanks to incredible defense played by Pella Windows, stopping the drafts. Don't wait. Schedule your free consultation today at PellaWI.com. That's PellaWI.com. All right, let me check this talking text line. So y'all was hollering at me. Y'all always hollering at me. I don't know why I get all upset about it. Y'all always hollering at me. Let me see what y'all talking about. Let me go back. Let's see. Frank said, I'm watching. I got to get after these dishes. So Frank is doing dishes while he's listening to my show. Shalonda said, I also forgot to say the rich whites have been. No, let me go back because that means that did Shalonda say something earlier? Okay. So I also forgot to say that rich whites have been having these contracts for more than 5 years. Am I reading what I'm supposed to read? Able to. Okay. I think that was from something else. Let me see. So Fonz said, I can only speak for myself, but people in my family like the term Black American. Really American, but Black American to be more detailed. We don't mess with the term African American. My lineage is different. I don't know what that means. FBA. Anyway. Y'all crazy. Anyway, 833-212-1017 is the number. Then we go back to sports on YouTube chat. Everybody's screaming and hollering at me. Marcus Johnson was the best player. Fundamental Black America as opposed to basic Black American or complicated Black American? Okay, I'm just okay. I couldn't come up with a C word, so I had to say couple. Sincere. Yeah, you just compare. Well, here's the thing. Bottom line is that different players in different eras have their own thing because the rules change, the court changed, the basket changed, all that. So I don't know if comparison is something. I don't know. I don't think so. Felix said, good afternoon, everyone. Yes, the Bucks will go all the way after 2 weeks. Okay. But then Felix also chimed in, I can't wait for the freeway to be built. 7 years, fine, do it, because I hate that bottleneck in the morning and the afternoon is terrible. Yes, I leave at 6 o'clock and it's still backed up. And I'm like, where are these cars coming from? Didn't people get off at 5 o'clock? Must be Kyle's fault. So I'm just saying. And so my poll question, let me go back to my poll question so I can see. 70% say high tech, 30% say hands on. So the town, I'm just saying. Did you vote? LT said high tech, but where will the talent come from? That's my point. Will it be local? Will any be Black? My feeling is that they'll be coming from surrounding areas and not from Milwaukee's Black community. So here's my question. If you're not qualified, why would you come from the Black community? See, I believe in helping people. I believe the same way white people help white people, Black people help Black people. I get that. But you still got to step to the line. Right? I'm not going to help you get in Harvard. Well, I guess in my case, I'm not going to help you get in Cornell. But if you step to the line and you're qualified and you get in, I can help you get through. I can't say, hey, y'all need to lower the standard or change the standard or just pick a black person, because that's what people think anyway. Black person's here, they lowered the standard. No, they didn't. They got here of their own volition. I hear people constantly talk about universities where black people are there, so automatically people assume they're either on scholarship or they got there because they were just picking black people. And that's not what happened. They got there and they're qualified. So we have to change how people write our narrative. We cannot let people write our LT, you're right. Let's not sell ourselves short. We don't need to always be manual labor and security guards. Hands-on might include those jobs, but hands-on means that no matter what high tech you have, somebody got to design it and somebody got to make it work. And if you make it work, you can get paid as much, if not more. That's just me. The guy or the girl that builds the data center is not the guy or girl that runs the data center, and it's not the guy or girl that fixes the data center. Pick one of those. That's what I mean by high tech versus hands-on, because when you're high tech, that's all you can do. But when you're hands-on, that is a skill. This is just me. You might disagree. That's a skill that's transferable across different things. Your thoughts, 833-212-1017 is the number. I agree with you, LT. Mari said, let's not forget our people are better hands-on. This is how we built civilization. High tech can come later to make things better and easier. Well, let me kind of twist that. Let me kind of twist that. And then Mari asked me what was my opinion on the poll. Let me twist that a bit. We're only good at using our hands because that's the only thing they would let us do. That's different from not being able to do tech. That's different from taking the low road, quote unquote, in somebody else's eyes, because, we like to make jobs, that's a blue collar job versus a white collar job. The white collar job is okay. We had to take blue collar jobs because those are the only jobs they would take us. They wouldn't let us be lawyers. They wouldn't let us be medical doctors. They wouldn't let us be executives. They wouldn't let us run companies. So what were we supposed to do? You either kick the door in or you build your own. We built our own. We built our own business, built our own companies. We kind of built the country. But you're right. Don't sell yourself short. Here's my thing. Do both. Have multiple skills. Be able to build it, design it, fix it. You'll be golden. And now with 101.7 The Truth Traffic, here's Debbie Lazaga.
Westbound 794 right into the Marquette. We do have the right lane blocked with a crash, so watch out for that. Delays continue past that point all the way out to Hawley Road. Eastbound, you're seeing delays from 92nd Street all the way through the Stadium Interchange. 4394 southbound, a tough ride. Slow from the Marquette all the way down through the Mitchell Interchange. There's a crash, tanker truck on its side just about at College Avenue. They are blocking the two right lanes to try and get through there. We've got 2 lanes to get through there. It is solid all the way back through that whole area, so just do be prepared with that. It's kind of a tough ride there. We've also got an accident in the backups right about at Holt Avenue. That one is got cars on both shoulders right now. That's going to be complicating matters. Southbound on 894, we've got backups coming down from Greenfield Avenue into the Hale. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with the low of 42. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, a high of 53. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Our children deserve a real chance to make it in life, and a good education is a passport to opportunity. At City Ford Collective, we're working to make sure there's a great Milwaukee school for every Milwaukee family, because more good options lead to better outcomes. And who doesn't want that? Together, we can give every child the foundation they need to thrive, and a stronger future for kids means a stronger future for Milwaukee. To learn more about our mission, visit us at cityfordcollective.org. That's cityfordcollective.org.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Here is Kyle Wallace with his truth.
Truth Nation, I guess I've officially graduated from big bro to unk status, at least according to my little cousin. That's what he said. Now, at first I pushed back a little bit, and I was offended by the assertion that I was old enough to be unk. But after a little thought, y'all, I actually embraced the label of being unk and the responsibility which comes with being quote-unquote unk. See, as unk, I think it's my duty to look out for and support the youth and young cats coming up after me. Embrace the role as being a mentor and role model and aim to protect our kids at all costs. With the news cycle always seemingly being negative towards the youth, we need to take it back upon ourselves to change the narrative and uplift our youth. Our kids are so much more than fights, stolen cars, Kia boys, or acting a fool in public. We can't allow a small population of children to depict who our kids really are in the city of Milwaukee. You have to resist the urge to want to bash our kids and be so quick to pass judgment or disparage the youth. And we gotta stop acting as if we were not once in their shoes, making poor decisions, having regrets. I know we have all been there. Now, regardless of how funny it may sound to say YN, don't label our kids that. That is far from a term of endearment, and we have to remember you become what people call you. If someone calls you dumb over and over and over again, you may start believing that you are dumb, and you may start having self-doubt in oneself. Don't put that type of self-hating energy on our youth, Milwaukee. We need to call them YKs and YQs for young kings and young queens, even when they might frustrate you. Remember, they are still only kids. With the summer being here, there is no better time to encourage them to aspire to be great. Give them positive reinforcement. Give them positive affirmation until we get it through their minds on who they really are and what they can become. An unstoppable force of greatness.
Listen to Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace weekdays from noon to 1 p.m.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Nazir Spencer. The Packers are on a hot streak right now as they sit at the top of the NFC, currently at 5-1-1. But fans still want to see more out of rookie Matthew Golden. Jordan Love joined Up and Adams with K. Adam.
And, I think it's just early. We haven't found ways to be able to get him the ball as much. Some of that's on me, trying to find ways to get him the ball. Some of this is on the plays. And
Packers return home against the Carolina Panthers on Sunday. Another victory celebration as the Bucks win a huge game against the New York Knicks. Giannis is the sixth player in NBA history to post 3 or more consecutive games with 30 points on 70% shooting. Giannis after the big win.
I love what I'm seeing. I think guys are playing to win, and this is what we are going to do this year. We have the players to win games.
Turn Thursday to face Steph Curry and the Warriors in a big primetime matchup. This Sports Update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Mari said, it all starts from the hands on that. That's why I assume most companies are looking for people with hands-on experience and experience. Felix said, everybody hiring greeters at stores, cart wranglers, servers at bars, restaurants, Chuck E. Cheese. And so one of the things that black people have always been attracted to is the flexibility of the service and hospitality industry, right? So when COVID hit and they said, hey, y'all got to go to work because we need stores open and blah, 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 blah. You're the type of worker that has to go to work. And so that's why the black community, was ravaged with COVID when it first started, to the point where they were trying to say some kind of thing about the black community, right? Well, I'll tell the story now. And I don't remember if I told it. I live in Sherman Park, and it was either the medical college or Freighter. One of them came through and did a study in COVID, and they wanted to give you a quote-unquote free COVID test, which they were already free anyway, and they wanted to test black Americans in Sherman Park or north side of Milwaukee because there were a high number of positive COVID cases coming from there. And I always wanted to know what came of it. So if you work at Freighter or work at the medical college and you heard about it, can you tell me what came of that study? Because I never heard what came of that study. They tested all the people. They tested a good number of people. We went and got tested and all that. They gave us our results and everything. But it was one of those things where you're working on an assumption, because you're doing research, that it started in the black community or it spread in the black community. And it didn't. We were just the hospitality workers. We were the baggers. The grocer had to be at the grocery store. The what did you call them? The cart wranglers, all them. And we were working in hospitality and customer service, and we got COVID at a higher rate. Overall, it balanced out, but the assumptions people make about the black community always seems to be negative. And I'm not saying Freighter or the medical college were negative, because they weren't. I applaud them for seeing an issue and attempting to nip it in the bud. That is the power of the healthcare institutions we have in southeastern Wisconsin. They did a phenomenal job. But I never heard what the outcome was. And I think one of the things we have to remember is that many times data is incomplete. And so sometimes we try to make assumptions, and we try to extrapolate across an entire population. But of course, that one is only for the population of Milwaukee or the particular neighborhoods where they test it. So anyway, 833-212-1017 is the number. Felix, where you get that from, dude? How'd you jump from cart wrangler to smelling like weed? I don't know how you did that. LT said, in sports, it's called being pigeonholed for numerous reasons. We weren't allowed to play certain positions in the workplace. It can be the same thing for the same reasons. We don't think black people are smart enough. When I'm in law enforcement and I have a white supervisor tell me, oh, but Ken, you're different. I'm not different from other black people. I just have to put a mask on when I'm at work, because then you'll treat me like everybody else. I just know how to play the game. I went to school in Central Illinois, where it was predominantly white, at a predominantly white university that really didn't treat me well while I was there, which gave me the fuel to make it. So I get it, but I don't get it. All right, so where were we? So there's this great story on thegrio.com. It's cuffing season, the time of the year when temperatures drop, nights get a little longer, timelines heat up because everybody has an opinion about romance. Who should you date? Who should you go out with? But then how much should a, you ready? Worthy date cost? And who's picking up the check, right? Lost in all the chatter is what black women are actually asking for. So, 833-212-1017 is the number. If you're a black woman, income over effort. Which one? Which one? Do black women want to go on a date with a guy, and are they impressed by the effort they make during the date? Or are they impressed by the amount of money they spend? There's a new study out that they learned about black women daters and what they're looking for. Right? So if you go on social media, all you hear is people screaming and hollering and talking about this and this is what I go. You got black men going to other countries to date women in other countries because they tired of women here. So black women have said, and I'll tell you the percentage, 67% of black women have a preference. 50% enjoy something in terms of new activities, and 84% value one over the other. But the other, whether it's income over effort that you make in the date, the lowest one, the one that they said, I don't like that one, I like this one, only 8% support it. Only 8% say it's important. And so there's a distinct difference in how black women look at dating. So my question to you is, what do you prefer as a black woman, effort or income? Because in the end, that's what matters. Income? Or does effort really count? Because y'all know how y'all get. Y'all know how y'all get. Maury said, here we go. Quanda said effort. Now watch this. You got to qualify what you mean by effort. You got to say, this is what I mean by effort. Right? I need two more. Sincere said, take my money, my house, my car. You can have it all. I don't know what that means. Sincere, you're a guy, so go away. What we doing? You don't count. Quanda said, I'll get my own income, and if we both go-getters, then we can get this money together. Okay. But I'm talking about a date. I ain't talking about living together and getting married and having kids. I said a date. Quanda, you always taking it to the end. So here's the deal. According to new data from Hinge, Maury says, blank, so we cannot have an opinion anymore. Okay, you're missing a point. I think you're taking me, Quanda doesn't take me literally, so don't take me literally. This is how I talk back and forth to people that I've always talked to. It's not a negative, or, you know, she pushed back on me. She beat me up, last week in the talking thing. She was whooping up on me. That's okay. And then she called me and hollered at me. So, I mean, I get it. But, and we do it all in fun. But, new data from Hinge says 67% of black women prefer effort over income in a partner. 50% enjoy trying new activities together. 84%, get this, 84% value well-planned dates over expensive ones. Figure out what we're going to do, where we're going to do it, how we're going to do it. Boom. And only 8% find sharing an expensive dinner important. They look for effort more than they're looking for a partner to provide a life for them or to have a higher income than them. Here's what you miss in that. Here is what you miss. When we come back, I'm going to tell you what you miss when you eschew income and want to go for quality.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Tune in to The Truth this Saturday at 11:30 a.m. for another episode of 4 Together for Kids, presented by City 4 Collective and hosted by myself, Kyle Wallace, and Coleston Morgan Jr., Executive Director at City 4 Collective. We'll be joined by Jody Weber, CEO of Seeds of Health, a public charter school system which operates 5 schools inside the city of Milwaukee. We will discuss how every high school senior enrolls in a pathway program at MATC to prepare for their journey after high school. Again, that's 4 Together for Kids this Saturday at 11:30 a.m. and Sunday at 2:30 p.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Hey, Truth Nation, it's your girl DT from The Truth Unfiltered with DT and Dr. Ken Harris. Now listen, at a critical time, through the Empowerment Small Business Loan Program, Old National Bank provided the resources I needed to sustain my business. Now the process had its challenges, but I was supported, and it was also an invaluable learning experience for future ventures. I am so grateful for the support that helped my business thrive. Old National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender, all loans subject to approval.
All you have is one chance after an accident, one decision on who to call, one shot to get the help you need. Don't waste it on the one offer you get from your insurance company. Make the one call to Gruber Law Offices. It's the only one you'll need to make. Call us today. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Contract-ready businesses, opportunity seekers, partnership builders, deal closers. Marketplace Wisconsin, the Governor's Conference on Diverse Business Development is focused on you. This event puts small businesses like yours in the room with buyers, partners, and mentors who can open doors to bigger opportunities. Join us online December 9th and in person December 10th and 11th at Baird Center in downtown Milwaukee. Whether you're a construction company looking for contracts or a service provider ready to grow, Marketplace Wisconsin is for you. Meet one-on-one with government reps, corporate buyers, and resource providers. Small businesses like yours keep Wisconsin moving forward. Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation is here to propel your growth. So join them for Marketplace Wisconsin, the Governor's Conference on Diverse Business Development, December 10th and 11th. Register today at marketplacewisconsin.com. That's marketplacewisconsin.com. Presented by WEDC. Let's look forward together.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Drop it.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Quanda said you will ask a question, we answer, and you with me will, watch this now, and that becomes a question with a question. Give me a break. No, I'm never giving you a break. Stop. Quanda said, on a date, I'm simple. We can go for a nice walk. I'm vegetarian. So dinner will be a waste. However, any date with me doesn't necessarily need money. I doubt that, but okay. See, here's part of the problem. Here's part of the problem I see. As you age, you need more money. As you age, you want to do nice things, own a house, have a car, take care of your family. See, you don't understand how men are wired, right? So women get mad that men aren't paying attention to them and doing this. But to men are actually in here trying to figure out how to make sure the bottom don't fall out. Because other people will walk in and say, you didn't take care of your family. Your wife messed up. Your kids messed up. Your kids spent all your money. Your wife blew it at Pato. All that, but that'll never come negative. They'll look at him and say, you didn't take care of your family. So you can't have it both ways unless you figure out ahead of time, these are the things that are important to me. Making sure you look nice, get your nails done, get your hair done. And then women say, I could do it for myself. You understand and you don't understand. Men are becoming what they used to be. hold doors open for women, whether they want it or not, being cordial in front of women, whether they want it or not, the rudeness that I see out of men, and this is just me, not taking their hat off indoors. I still see men come in church and sit the entire time with their hat on. And I think I said, I remember if I said it on the air, and somebody told me before, well, we don't want to ask them to take their hat off because, they hear, to get salvation, so that might stop them. Any man that gets offended by you coming inside of a building and you asking them, in our building, part of our rules is that we ask people to remove their hats, and they have a problem with it, do you honestly think they're going to follow any rules if they can't simply take their hat off? Come on now. And if your hat is blocking your salvation, you got a bigger problem. But I digress. So at some point, men are trying to become men again. And ladies, you have to let them. Things that are important to us are not things that are important to you. So you don't get to pick everything that has to be your way because now it's your show. And the first thing you'll do is remind a man, well, I can do this without you. Well, why don't you just do that now? And that way we don't have to bother. And go date somebody else. I think we've lost. I think we're lost. I think we've lost just common decency. Okay? And by the way, I won't be here Thursday and Friday. Kwanda's already hollered at me and beating me up. And then said, how dare you? Like, really? Really? That's what I'm talking about. I don't get no love. I get to sit there and people be hollering at me. Anyway. But that's old school, right? But old school is why you have what you have today. So when you don't do what old school did, you gonna get. I don't know what you're going to get, but it's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the same. And those things that you hope you'll get, those ways that you think you want to get treated, because that's what you heard, that's how you're supposed to be treated, you're not going to get. If you don't save today, you're not going to have no money tomorrow. If you don't go to work today, you're not going to get paid tomorrow. Like, it's a simple thing. If you're faithful over a few things, you'll rule over a lot. But if you don't, Are you saying, how dare I actually take some days off? Are you serious, Kwanda? I think Kwanda hollered at me. 833-212-1017 is the number. She said you could have started with this and not wait till 5 minutes before the end of class. You need to stop. I don't talk about dating and stuff like that, but I can share a little. By the way, is the future of Milwaukee high-tech or hands-on? 57% say high-tech. 43% say hands-on. So there you go. I guess you have spoken. But, I mean, at some point, we need to understand and realize that in order for Milwaukee to become the Milwaukee it used to be, we have to start treating and acting in a way that helps everybody. And we don't. We get into arguments and shoot each other. Like the only way for a person to lose an argument is to die? That makes no sense to me. Exactly, Mal. Then he upset when you guys don't speak to him first. Oh, y'all need to quit. Y'all silly. Well, I want to say thanks for being here, Kwanda and Mal and SE and everybody hanging out. Let me see who else rolled through here. Sincere, Ronnie Ray Real, Felix, LT, B Breeze was rolling through. Want to say thanks. Fonz was on the talk and text line. Thank you. I'm going to be gone for 2 days. I'm taking 2 days off. I'm going to have a long weekend. I get to rest, relax, chill, get some things done, and all that. So Homer Blow's going to be hanging in for the next 2 days. Take care of yourself. I'll be peeking on the talking text line. I'll be sneaking in the chat, seeing what y'all talking about. So, hey, Be safe. God bless. Take care. Thank you, DJ Brother Z. I'm out.
Be quiet.